Hello everyone, Joanne with StampingInTheValley.com and welcome to my craft room. Today we are going to dive in and work with the Charming Cafe. I love this little card. I had so much fun making this little card and all the elements that go with it. This is my first attempt at a trifold card and I think it came out adorably cute. Isn't that beautiful? So much fun. Now, I'll tell you, it took me a little while to make the card. It really did, because there's lining up with the big shot, and there's stamping and the big shot work, and then positioning things and coloring. So it did. If you need some time in your craft room, this is the greatest set. Charming Cafe, Cafe Builder Framelits. It's bundled in the Occasions catalog. Remember, celebration is going on. This is a celebration catalog. If you order between $50 and $100 worth of product from Stampin' Up! Before shipping, handling, and taxes, you get to choose certain items from this catalog. And then there's another brochure that is coming out the middle of the month that you can also order or pick from 3 free items from it. So this is very exciting. And then if you just order $25 in product, I send you these 2 free card kits. And there will be links. I will not put a video at the end of the video any longer. There will just be links in the description below. If you want to watch the video of the card kit, you just click it. If you want to watch the video of the paper share, you just click the link, okay? And it'll be in the description below. So that's something new I'm doing. But I really had fun with this card. I've never done a trifold card before. So when we come back, we're going to start putting this card together. I wanted to begin by going over a few little tips with you guys. I wanted to tell you that I use the watercolor pencils with the blender pens instead of the Stampin' Blends, just to do something a little bit different, and I think I got a great look with the pencils. I was talking to a friend of mine on the phone before this weekend, and I was telling her that I was getting kind of in a rut with my cards, and they all kind of looked the same to me, and I wanted to do something different. And I was so happy when I came across Stamp with Joy. You guys want to go over to Stamp with Joy. Type that into the YouTube, and it'll take you right over to her channel. But I got this inspiration from her, and she was very, very fantastic with her directions. I needed the directions on how to use this, and I did a couple of different twists of my own, but she really, really helped. So that is Stamp with Joy. That's where you want to go and check her out and subscribe to her channel. So let's talk about this set right here. I put this on my block, this stamp. I put this stamp on the block, and I stamped it in Memento black ink because I was going to use the pencils. So then I went to the big shot and I went to cut it out. This die did not fit. I was off like about 1/8 of an inch, and I know for a fact then that this stamp had moved on me a little bit when I either put it on the block or something. So what I do then is I mount this onto the block. I take my framelit and I put it on the stamp, okay? Now this gives you time, if you're off the least little bit, this gives you time. You can move this around, pick it up, and move it around so that it fits absolutely perfectly, guys. I mean like a glove, okay? It needs to fit in here like a glove. And when it's perfect just like this, that's all you have to do is take this off. I'm going to bring my paper in, and this is just Whisper White. Let's move these pencils out of the way. And you know now that your framelit is going to match up perfectly, okay, when you go to cut it. After you do whatever you're going to do to it. Right now, we're going to use Memento black ink, and we're going to ink it this nice and juicy right here. Okay. And because it's red rubber, we do not need the foam mat underneath. So we're just going to stamp that. Beautiful. Look how crisp that is. Let me cover this back up because I got my fingers in this before and had it all over Whisper White like you have no idea. Look how crisp that is. Very, very nice. Now, you'll notice in her video, when she cuts this out, she does a special cut. She does a two-step cut. And this is very important because I want you to see my card, which I think came out good. But look at this little band right here, which it's great. This one is just inside, just a little bit too close. You know, I wanted like white on either side of that black line, just like I have on this side. Okay, so I'm going to show you how to do that. We'll bring the big shot in just a few minutes. So first you want to stamp with your Memento, and then here's your little topiary. I guess I could have kept that open. Here's your little topiary. And what Stampin' Up! Did was they gave us 3 framelets, 3 topiary framelets, which I think is just absolutely fantastic. So I'm going to make 3 of them. I had to stop the camera because I had to sneeze. So anyway, I was telling you that they gave you 3 of the thinlets that are the topiaries. And I like the way Stampin' Up! Is starting to do things like that. When you can do multiple, they're giving us multiple thinlets for for the cut, for the stamp. So I love that. The other thing with this, and that Stamp with Joy taught me, is to mark this. This is the top, and this is the bottom. You'll see why. Okay, when we go to cut it, or even if you're going to use these framelets, these are individual framelets, okay, when you go to line these up, there's a top one and there's a bottom one, because this one does not fit down here, okay, so there is a top and there is a bottom. So she taught me to do that, and you definitely want to do that. Okay, now let's bring in another piece of Whisper White. These are just scrap pieces, and I'm going to stamp. I love the cafe. I love the chairs and the table and the little cups. So adorable. Now you will cut this out with the thinlet. Isn't that adorable? Isn't that neat? So you'll color and cut that, so we put that to the side. Now, this next piece right here is for your window. This is the window in the back right here, okay? And it is 3 1/4 by 2 3/4, okay? So 3 1/4 this way by 2 3/4 that way. And we want to take our beautiful window. This so reminds me of like an Italian cafe. I think it's so adorable. Okay, and I want to get this just kind of right in the middle of that piece of cardstock. Just like that. Okay? Nice and crisp. That Memento is just so nice and crisp. Now, in the middle of this, but after I color, I will then stamp the word thanks in Memento black ink. Okay, so we have our stamping done. Now let's talk about our card. Let me give you the dimensions. Oh, have mercy. Let me give you the dimensions of our card. It is 10 1/2 by 5 1/2. Now this one I'm doing in Daffodil Delight, and this paper is from the Tutti Frutti collection. So is the other one. It's just the other side. This was also from the Tutti Frutti collection. This is just the other side of the pineapples. So this is the other side of the bananas. I love the stripes. So here's our card base, and it is 10 1/2 by 5 1/2. We are scoring it at 3 1/2 and 7. Okay, 3 1/2 and 7 is what you're going to score it at, and that gives us a nice trifold. The other thing that you want to do is, guys, you've got to use your bone folder with this. You've got to get a very crisp crease in your card so that it will fold into itself, okay? So like open that side up, put this down, really burnish that down, do the other side, really burnish that down, okay? And so you have a beautiful trifold card. I love that. Now, this piece of DSP is 3 3/8 by 5 3/8. 3 3/8 by 5 3/8. And this I'm going to put down with some Tombow. You must attach this prior to any cutting on this outside of this card base, okay? You must attach your DSP prior to any cutting. She was very adamant about that. Also, her directions, you know, sometimes it's like, okay, our videos get long, but when we have complicated kits like this that are, you know, very intricate, our videos have to be long to teach you everything, and her directions were wonderful. So appreciate her. So right there, okay? Now, I'm going to break away, clean my stamps, and bring the Big Shot in, and we'll go from there. Okay, we've moved the Big Shot in, and the first thing we want to do is cut the opening in the card. So you want to open your card like this, okay, and just lay that down on. I have a magnetic plate. You want to take your Sizzix right here, your die, and you want the Sizzix, where it says Sizzix, to go toward the fold. Excuse me, toward the left of the card, okay? Just right there. Now, even though I have a magnetic platform, we're going through 2 thicknesses of paper, and I really need this to be right. So I'm using a piece of washi tape, and I just kind of put it there, and it just holds it, just gives it that extra little security. And then I put my plate on and crank this through the Big Shot. I'm going to go both ways, making sure, because I am going through 2 pieces of paper. Not that I don't think that going through one time it would get it. I really do believe that. Okay. Let's see what we have here. There we go. And then you just remove your washi tape gingerly. But it's usually, you know, if you don't have washi tape, you can use that blue painter's tape. Same thing. It's not the same thing. You just get the same result. So we'll use this on another project some other time. Cutting something out with that. Great. Now, we want to go ahead now and see how this folds into itself. Just like this. Just like this one. Okay. And on this part of the card, we want to cut out the chairs. So while you have your card right here, you want to kind of, I just eyeball it, okay? And I bring this over, and I just kind of look in here. Now, you don't want any metal showing. See how the metal is showing right there, guys? You do not want that. So just move your die around. Move it up. Straighten it out. Just like that, okay? I kind of like it right there, okay? Now, another piece of washi tape right here, okay? And now, you're going to turn that just like that. And get your plate. And you're going to cut this part, the window, out. And again, I'm going to go forward and backward. Let's see what we get. Very good. Beautiful, beautiful. And again, we'll find something to do with that. Okay, now, let's see what we have here. So we have our window, and we have the front. Isn't that great? If we had our chairs colored, we could go ahead and put those right on there. But we're going to get that done in just a little bit. Now, but let's just see how this is going to look. Okay, while we've got this going, this will come in here, just like that, eventually, after we color that. And then we have our scene. Isn't that beautiful? Isn't that great? just like that. Okay, but we're not there yet, okay? Okay, let's move this part of the card out of the way, and let's bring in this where we put the top and the bottom on. Okay. And this is where she showed this two-step cut. Sizzix at the top. Okay, the word Sizzix at the top. We know that that's how we started. So now just line this up, leaving your border. Now this you're going to want to take a little bit of fussy with, okay? Because you want to look at your flowers. You don't want to cut them off. You don't want to have too much border on one side, not enough on the other. I kind of like it right there. I'm going to place that washi tape right there, and I'm going to secure it down with another piece on the other side. Nope, I don't like the way that looks. So I'm going to move it just a hair, just up, just a hair, and that washi tape is going to hold that for me. Great. Okay, we've got that ready. Here we go. I'm going to put this through the big shot. We'll just do that one time. Right here. I hope I'm doing her justice because she was fantastic at this. Okay. Now, oh, that's some adhesive that was on my plate. Let me get the little eraser. Let's talk about this eraser. Have you ever seen this little rubber eraser? We've got it in the catalog. I'll link it on at StampinInTheValley.com. See how it just removes that adhesive immediately? Immediately. What you want to do though, see when it gets these little dark knobbies on it? Pinch them off, okay, because that's not going to remove any more of your adhesive, okay? So just pinch those off. This is a great little tool to have. Okay, so here we've got this, and now we're going to move that out of the way. We're going to put this down, and we're going to bring back in the inside framelit. She was so good at all of this. Okay, and then we're going to line this up. Again, the Sizzix part is to the left, okay, because the fold of the card would be to the left. And we're going to line that, just get it where we want it, just like that. And again, with our washi tape, go ahead and then really look at it, okay? See if you've got it where you want it, and I think I'm good with that, okay? So here we go. We'll see what we get. And I like this technique. Like I said, the first one that I did, I put them both together, and I kind of got off on that one side and I didn't see it. So I really like her. Oh yeah, this got off a little bit right there on that side too. It's a little thin, but right there, okay? But we're going to go with it. I still like it. I still have the dark line, and we're good. So I'll be back in just a moment. I'm going to color everything, okay? And I'll be back in just a moment. We'll put the card together. Before we start to put everything together, I want to go over how to use the watercolor pencils with the blender pen. Very, very simple. I stamped again the chair. These are so cute. The cafe part. Isn't that adorable? And I like the chairs in brown. I really do. They look, you know, it's just the way the legs are, and they just look great, I think, in brown. So I take my watercolor pencils, and we're not going to do much of this, and I color with that, just like that, okay? Then I take my blender pen, and there's 3 in a package. Okay, take the brush tip, and I come down these legs with this, and it gives it a nice watercolored look. And then you can push the ink around also. If you have any white space, you can push the ink into that space, just like that. And then the tip, just on some scrap paper. I'll just turn this, well, right here, just on some scrap paper, just clean it just like that, because there's just alcohol in it, and just cleans it. And you can go right into another color, no big deal. Okay, so that's how easy that is. But look at those legs, how nice they look. Kind of that washy watercolor way. I really like that. So let's move that aside. I just wanted to show you what to do with the watercolor pencils and the blender pens, and and this is how I did the entire card. Okay. Okay, so we'll move that aside. Now let's bring our card base in again. And missed the pencil. Right here. Now what we want to do, I did the little chair and the cups and the table. Isn't that adorable? Let that camera focus just a second there. I know I'm very close to the camera so that you can see this. Go out a little further. There we go. Now it's nice and crisp. But look at how beautiful when I use a blender pen. Now I didn't use a blender pen on everything. I did on the chairs, but I didn't on the cups because they were fine. Okay, isn't that adorable? So now we're going to adhere this to our card that we had cut out, and I will use my Tombow on this. Just a little bit will do you on this. Make sure you get it on the tips to hold everything down. So now we're going to open our card up, and we're going to place this right here on that cutout. Isn't that perfect? Look how perfect that is. Isn't that fantastic? And look at the back. Perfect. Absolutely perfect. I love that. I absolutely love that. See, this is still popping up. So I really want to get in here and use this bone folder and really get that creased. Really burnish that down. Okay, just like that. And now it's shut. Just like that. You know, there's a little bit more thickness in there, but for the most part, you can still get a good crease right there, and then the card would, you know, stand nicely. So that part, but use your bone folder. Okay, now let's get our window back in here. And I colored this, and I used a little different. I did a gray and a purple and a yellow. I did some gray inside the window and some brown on the outside, and I did my bricks. And I took my blender pen and I did the little bit, that's real red right there, that color, and then the blender pen makes it look fantastic. Sorry, I didn't mean to hit the camera stand. So now we're going to put this in here. I thought I was off a little bit. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going to put this in here, and again, I'm not a measurer, guys. I look at my opening here, and I know that this is just about 1/8 of an inch bigger. So I'm just going to kind of eyeball it right there, bring this over. Do I like that placement? Do I need to move anything? I'm going to take this up just a little bit. Right there. I like that placement right there. I like to see a little bit of the brick right there. Okay? So I'm putting this down, and then I'm just going to take a pencil. I did this before and I really regretted it, guys, because the eraser did not erase well. So I'm just going to mark it just right there, okay? I'm just going to say. And I was like, oh no, I have a spot on the card, but I finally got it off. Okay. This can just go down with some snail. And just right underneath that little tick mark. And I know I kind of had it angled a little bit, so we're going to straighten it up some here. Beautiful. Perfect. Okay? Just like that. How cool is that? Now, let's go ahead. Well, we're going to use that. Let's go ahead with our Memento ink and take our thanks and stamp it right in our window. Love that. Isn't that great? Okay. Now from there, oh, I got, see, I've got black on my finger. Look what I just did. But we're going to keep going. And I've got it here too on the outside. Black on the finger. Okay, so we're going to close this up. And now I'm going to move our flowers in. Look how I colored our flowers with the rich raspberry. And this is good. This is good right here. Look how pretty this is going to look. Just so nice. And it is, again, it is perfect. Perfectly cut out. Look at that window. Isn't that great? So I'm going to use Tombow because I definitely want the wiggle room on this. Oh, I hate I got the black on there. Oh. We'll see if we can't. Pearl, sequin, something, right? You can always make lemonade out of lemons. Most of the time. So I put a little glue on the outside here of these, of the real thin parts, because I want to make sure that it can go down. I want to open my card so I don't get glue on the inside. And then you want to very gingerly place this, okay? And then if you need to move it around, you've got that few seconds with Tombow. Love that. Isn't that, look how, that did come out great over there. Look at that. Fantastic. Oh, I'm so happy with this. Look at the pretty color. Right there. Oh, I love the rich raspberry and the daffodil delight. Look at how beautiful that is, guys. Isn't that a pretty card? Now, I made a 10-second bow, and I did 3 loops. Just loop it around 3 times and put a nice big pearl there. And I'm going to just take a glue dot and put it right up here in this corner. Make sure it's pressed down into the paper. And just take my bow and put it right there. Isn't that lovely? Fantastic. Oh, I love it. I love both of them. I love them both. How nice. With the Charming Cafe Builder Set. This is in a bundle. You save 10% with the bundle, guys. If you want to have a beautiful day in your craft room. Oh, wait, we didn't put the topiary trees on. Oh, so we have to put our trees in there. A little bit of Tombow on the trees. And then I'm going to just kind of position them to the side of the chair. You hate to do all that coloring and then because your hands had ink on them, make a mess. But we will find a way to rectify that. Isn't that cute? Let's get these even. Bring that one down just a little bit. And now we're done. So pretty. Let's move this over just a hair. Kind of hanging off of the card. It will fit in an A2 envelope. We're just going to move that right over there. Let's get another glue dot. Get another one and put it right there. My little tails were hanging off and I really don't like them to hang off. There we go. Now we're more on the card. Great. Beautiful. And I made 3 loops this time. I love it. I wanted it to look like, I don't know, it kind of reminded me of a cloud, the 3-loop bow. So a cloud over the cafe, you're having tea or coffee or hot chocolate, sitting outside on a beautiful, beautiful day, and that's what this reminded me of. So now guys, if you want to have some fun in your craft room, you want to sit, I don't know, put like This Is Us on, watch it on TV as you color and craft with this set. It is a fantastic set to do that with. It is hours of fun, I promise you, in the craft room with this set. Charming Cafe. Love it. Thanks again for watching, and happy crafting.